You know, it seems the minute those Thanksgiving dishes are washed, the race is on for so many to find the perfect Christmas tree. But how do you make sure you don't end up with one of those Charlie Brown trees? Turns out there is a science to it, when to get it and how to make sure the tree you get lasts the longest inside your home. Paula Ferris braving the cold tonight. She's with the experts.
Nothing says Christmas more than trimming the tree. But sometimes the quest to find that tree,
there it is,
can be as deeply religious as the holiday itself.
Dad, did you bring a saw?
Christmas classics have poked fun at this annual adventure. But it's not funny when the fur in question is destined for your living room. The stakes are too high.
I think it needs me.
And no one wants to be ripped off with a Charlie Brown disaster. Just this past week, the town of Reading, Pennsylvania went all bah humbug when this tree went up in the town square.
It just reminds me of Charlie Brown.
Who picked that?
There was a squirrel right now looking for a place to live in the winter. It won't even go into this tree.
Wow, look at all these trees. So tonight, listen to the pros of the pine.
Oh, that is
Wizards of the Winter Wonderland.
We're surrounded by trees. How many are on this property?
I haven't actually counted them all, believe it or not.
That would take a long time.
Yes, it would. But there's over 100,000 trees growing on the property.
Jamie Jones of the Jones Family Farm in Shelton, Connecticut, is the 6th generation of his family of tree growers.
Balsam fir, Fraser fir, Douglas fir.
And Jones says the most common question he hears is, where are the big ones? But that's exactly where most people go wrong. Tip number 1, size matters.
They pick a tree out that's just a little bit too big.
Clark?
Just like the Griswolds.
Do you think there's enough room for the angel?
It's a common story. They get it home, the trees are all wrapped up, they unwrap it, and whoom.
But for New Yorkers who don't want to go to the forest and cut down a tree, the forest actually comes to them. Every year starting this weekend, hundreds of stands appear overnight like magic on the city streets, as a most unique subculture of tree sellers descends on the sidewalks.
We have to teach people a lot.
So, Douglas fir.
He's known simply as Francois. New Yorkers know him by name, and believe it or not, most folks here buy their trees from someone just like him, a man who for 10 years now journeys to the city all the way from Quebec just for the season and becomes a part of the family for folks in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Francois.
Francois is definitely part of my holiday ritual.
This is me and Francois last year. This is a yearly tradition.
Francois is the focus of a new documentary called Tree Man.
Thank you.
He sells trees 24/7 every day until Christmas, living out of a van parked on Broadway.
My darling.
When is the best time to buy? Tip number 2, don't delay.
All the best trees will be gone. I always tell people early buyers are happy buyers.
And you won't believe how he figures out what to charge. Tip number 3, it's not just the height, it's the weight.
A heavy tree is a healthy tree. It's as simple as that. That tree is just gorged with water.
That's heavy.
It's full of water. It's packed. Dry wood means a dead tree. We don't sell dead trees.
Francois' trees cost up to $350. There is a way to get a bargain, but first you need to know a couple of tricks of the tree trade. The ones that look good only from the front, Francois refers to them as the one-sider. Then there are damaged or malformed trees. Francois doesn't like to call them ugly. He calls them Mr. Personality.
They're gonna get a steal of a deal.
But whatever people buy, pets can poo-poo it all. Like on these videos posted on YouTube.
Why did you pee on the Christmas tree?
Brooklyn tree seller Charles Pokel has the answer. Tip number 4, pet lovers love the blue spruce.
The best tree for them would be a blue spruce because it has these very sharp needles. And so the cat, once they find out the needles are sharp, they want nothing to do with that tree anymore.
Pokel suggests spritzing the needles with water, but all tree men agree the most important secret for a healthy tree is tip number 5, enough water in the stand.
Just tap water is all you need to use.
There's a lot of tricks out there. Put aspirin in the water or sugar.
No.
Doesn't work?
Just water. Those are all old wives' tales. I from my understanding, none of that would ever work.
Now, you could avoid all this and buy an artificial tree. But at the Jones farm, they're all about real trees and a real experience.
You say experience, I say a workout.
Well, both.
As I'm about to discover as I attempt to cut down my own family tree.
Here you go.
Right, I thought this was gonna be a power saw. I see the trunk.
I start out full of confidence and on the clock.
Okay, Mark, get set, go. Oh, I'm already exhausted.
Maybe artificial is the way to go.
You're doing good.
Oh my gosh, I need a break.
Remember, this is simple. This is a fun activity.
I'm starting to wonder. But then,
It's coming.
Timber!
We have success! Look at that!
look at that time. As we load my trophy on the van,
Let's see if she stays on top of the roof.
Jones reminds me the most important part of buying a tree is creating memories. And by the time I drive home and my kids help me set it up, even though I messed up rule number 1,
It's too tall. Oops.
this will be one tree my family will remember for quite some time.
Merry Christmas!